Have you ever felt like you're just stuck on a treadmill? You're working harder, putting in more hours, but somehow you're not really getting ahead. You just feel tired, constantly striving, but the goalposts seem to keep shifting. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a book that really aims to break that cycle. It's Work Less, Make More by James Schramko. And this isn't your typical business book full of just tactics. It's a really counterintuitive guide to building a business that actually supports the life you want, leveraging things properly, not just doing more.
Yeah, exactly. Our mission here is to really pull out the core ideas and the actionable stuff from Schramko's own journey and his principles. We're going to focus hard on this idea of increasing your effective hourly rate, your EHR, and actually designing a business that serves you instead of the other way around. So expect some really practical advice, but also some perspectives that might honestly make you rethink how you approach work and success.
And Schramko's own story really sets the stage for that rethinking. I mean, he started out earning okay money, then became this top car salesman in Australia, BMW, then Mercedes-Benz, making six figures a year. But the big shift, the really interesting part, is how he went from that to making six figures a month online. And here's the kicker: while working way fewer hours.
That's the dream.
Totally. And what drove him? Well, he saw his dad get made redundant back in the 90s, learned about the perils of single-source dependency firsthand. That, plus realizing his own high-paying job just couldn't give him, as he puts it, automated income, independent wealth, or the ability to enjoy life passionately. That became his foundation. Okay, so let's unpack this foundational concept he talks about. The metric that matters, your effective hourly rate, EHR. It sounds kind of technical, but the calculation is actually pretty simple, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, dead simple. You just take your total monthly revenue, subtract all your costs.
Right.
That gives you your profit for the month.
Yep.
Then divide that profit by the actual number of hours you put in during that month. And bingo, that's your EHR.
But here's the thing Schramko points out, and it's kind of shocking.
It really is. He found so many entrepreneurs working themselves to the bone discover their EHR is ridiculously low, sometimes like $10 or $20 an hour.
Wow. So basically, less than minimum wage in some places after all that stress and effort.
Exactly. And that number isn't just a metric. It really reflects whether your effort is actually paying off. It connects directly to that feeling of being constantly tired he saw in people. It means you might be working way, way harder for your money than you ever realized, trading your life hours for not much return.
So when I first read his big counterintuitive suggestion here, my first reaction was, wait, what? He says you should immediately try to reduce your work hours. That feels so backwards compared to the whole hustle harder mantra we hear everywhere. How does that even work? How does cutting hours lead to more revenue and profit?
It sounds crazy, but the logic is solid. Reducing those initial hours, especially low-value ones, frees up your energy, your mental bandwidth.
Ah, okay. So you stop just spinning your wheels on stuff that doesn't really move the needle.
Precisely. And if you look at the examples he gives, starting from that, say, $20 an hour EHR, if you make some smart changes to increase profit and cut your hours, suddenly your rate jumps to maybe $62.50 an hour. Then you keep refining, focus on the right things, maybe implement some systems. It climbs to $154 an hour.
Okay, getting better.
And then you keep going. He and his top students get it up to $600 an hour, sometimes even higher. It's not about earning less. It's about earning smarter. And the payoff isn't just money. It's, real life improvements. More time with family, actually looking after your health, having time for hobbies again.
So the big takeaway here for you listening is, this isn't magic. It's a process. It's learnable. It's repeatable. And honestly, you're probably way ahead of where Schramko was when he started, just given the tools and information we have access to today. Okay, EHR gives us the target, the measurement, but how do we actually boost that number? Schramko says it starts way before you even tweak the business stuff. It starts with personal effectiveness. He's really strong on this. He absolutely slams the idea of working those insane 19-hour days. He even mentions karoshi, that Japanese term for death from overwork.
Yeah, he makes a crucial distinction. It's not about productivity, just doing lots of stuff. It's about effectiveness, doing the right stuff.
Right. You can be super busy, but achieve very little if it's all low-impact work, like a hamster wheel.
Right, exactly. Lots of motion, no real progress.
So his fourth step for getting effective: look in the mirror, which sounds simple, but it's about truly taking ownership.
Total personal responsibility. Realizing your future success isn't about luck, like winning the lottery. It's about the choices you make right now.
And you can't make good choices about your time if you don't know where it's going, which leads to his next point: track your time.
Yeah, this can be a real eye-opener. Using time tracking software often reveals shocking truths, like maybe you think you're networking on social media, but the tracker shows you actually spend 5 hours just scrolling.
Ouch. Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. But the key is honesty. See the reality, then adjust. Make conscious decisions about where those hours go.
Then he gets tactical with manage your inbox better. This is gold. He recommends things like really using Gmail filters and labels to sort things automatically, and crucially, turning off all those alerts, social media pings, push notifications, creating what he calls an oasis of calm so you can actually think.
That constant distraction is a killer for deep work.
Totally. And then there's the power move, unsubscribe. He makes this brilliant point differentiating between those who just consume emails and freebies, spending their time.
And those who create valuable content and offers actually making money with their time. That free course might cost you hundreds in lost earning potential, your EHR opportunity cost.
Exactly. And finally, for the inbox, setting up a proper help desk. Customer support emails flooding your personal inbox. He says that just doesn't scale.
Right. As you grow, you drown. Proper software or delegating that frees you up immensely.
Okay, so inbox managed. Then he talks about focus, using the idea of set up some bumpers, like in bowling.
Yeah, exactly, like bowling bumpers keeping the ball on track. He uses 12-week planning blocks for this. You set a clear goal for that 12 weeks, maybe launching a new service. Then any new shiny object or request that comes up during that time, you just say no, or let's look at that after this block. It keeps you and your team focused.
That takes discipline, which ties into the next idea. Set up filters. He uses this analogy of being on a ferry in rough seas.
Right, the window filters out the spray and wind, but lets you see where you're going.
Your ability to say no is that filter in business. You can't say yes to everything because your effective hours are limited. It's about filtering opportunities based on real potential.
Like his example of the car dealership using a stock matrix, a quick checklist to decide which trade-ins actually make financial sense, rather than just taking everything that comes along.
Smart. Which leads very naturally to time block. This is huge.
Oh, absolutely crucial. It's about paying yourself first with your time, guarding that deep work time fiercely. Schramko gives his own pretty extreme example. He makes himself available for public calls only 6 hours a week, all on Wednesdays.
Wow, just 6 hours.
Yep. That ensures he's fully present and focused then, and it leaves the rest of his week wide open for high-level work or, surfing. Scheduler tools and those filters we talked about are key to protecting that time.
Then there's focus itself. The idea of tackling just one really high-impact thing each week, like zooming in with a camera lens.
Yeah, think about the compound effect of nailing one significant thing every single week for a year. Massive progress.
And you can't have focus or energy without the fundamentals. Sleep, eat, move.
This is huge for Schramko personally.
Mm-hmm.
He lost 45 pounds by prioritizing this stuff. He totally debunks the sleep is for the weak hustle culture nonsense.
Right. So many people are sleep deprived.
Yeah, he points out stats like nearly half of Americans getting 6 hours or less. He suggests things like setting a bedtime alarm, keeping devices out of the bedroom.
And eating properly.
Eating like an athlete, basically. Fueling your body for performance, not just pleasure. Cutting out the junk that requires you to rely on caffeine or sugar hits. And consistent movement for him, it's surfing daily isn't just leisure, it's vital for energy and sleep quality.
Okay, so we're adding focus, better habits. What about the stuff we need to get rid of? That's where purge comes in.
Yes. It's not just about adding, it's often more powerful to subtract.
And this applies everywhere, right? Digital clutter, old files, unused apps.
Physical clutter, messy office, overflowing wardrobe.
Yeah.
And even relationships, he talks about purging negative influences or low achievers who drain your energy.
That's a tough one, but probably necessary sometimes.
Definitely. And finally, to lock in all these positive changes, he stresses create routines.
Like habits, basically.
Pretty much. Routines automate the good stuff, reducing decision fatigue. They free up that precious mental energy so you can use it for the high-impact work, not deciding what to have for breakfast. As he says, if your actions aren't getting you what you want, change your thoughts. And routines help embed those new thoughts.
Okay, so we've nailed personal effectiveness. That's the engine. Now let's talk about the steering wheel. Strategic clarity. Planning, goals, focusing on the right high-impact work. Because it's so easy to fall into that trap of just being reactive, right?
Yeah.
Putting out fires all day instead of actually setting the direction.
Oh, absolutely. Schramko uses a great surfing analogy here. You're out in the water, waves are coming. It's tempting to just paddle for the first one you see.
Yeah, just get moving.
But the experienced surfer waits. They watch. They wait for the right wave, the one that's going to give them a good ride, take them where they want to go. It requires patience and foresight.
So how do we get that foresight? He suggests clearing your brain with a whiteboard.
Yeah, it's simple but effective. Just dump everything swirling around in your head onto the whiteboard. Every task, idea, worry.
Get it all out.
Then score them. Which ones have the biggest potential impact? Focus only on the top 3. It's not about forgetting the others, but about freeing up your mental RAM from all that clutter.
Makes sense. Then he outlines his 3 layers of planning. Layer 1 is goal setting.
And this isn't just wishful thinking. It's about vividly picturing your ideal future. What does that successful business really look like for you? More time off? Travel?
You got to get specific. Feel it almost.
Exactly. Get intimate with the vision,
Yeah.
and then ask yourself honestly, am I willing to do the work to pay the price to make this real?
Okay, layer 1, vision. Layer 2.
Layer 2 is time blocking, scheduling, and checking in. This is where you operationalize the vision. It lives in that not urgent, important quadrant of the Eisenhower matrix.
The strategic stuff that often gets pushed aside.
Right. You have to schedule time for it. And he emphasizes Parkinson's law work expands to fill the time. So use deadlines, live events, weekly check-ins he does, like 40, 50 a year with the students, keep you accountable and moving forward.
Frequent check-ins are key then. And layer 3.
Layer 3 is major reviews every 12 weeks. Think of these as like pit stops or stations on your journey.
Okay.
You pause, celebrate what worked, figure out what didn't, course correct, and then meticulously plan the next 12-week sprint. He even used visual things like magnetic troll dolls back in the day to track sales, make the progress tangible and fun.
I love that. Okay, planning layers are set. Now let's get into this focus and the power of 64.4 concept. This sounds really intriguing.
It is. He starts by pointing out the flaw in typical to-do lists. They're usually unweighted, right?
Yeah, just a list of stuff.
So we naturally drift towards the easy, quick tasks just to feel productive, even if they don't matter much. That's why he advocates using the Eisenhower matrix, urgent, important, to really prioritize.
But the 64.4, that
Yeah.
takes it further.
Way further. It's basically the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule applied to itself.
Okay, run that by me again.
So if 20% of your actions give you 80% of your results, then if you apply 80-20 to that 20%, you find that roughly 4% of your total actions, 20% of 20%, are generating 64% of your results, 80% of 80%.
Whoa. So just 4% of what I do is responsible for almost 2/3 of my success.
Pretty much. That's the mind-blowing part. And that is the absolute key to working less and making way more. Find that 4%, protect it, amplify it, and ruthlessly cut the rest.
This sounds powerful, but maybe a bit abstract. How does it look in practice?
Well, the story of Jared Robinson makes it crystal clear. It's a fantastic case study in the book.
Okay, tell us about Jared. What was his situation?
Jared was the definition of overworked, full-time PE teacher, 4-hour commute daily.
Oof.
And on the side, he'd built this sprawling online thing for PE teachers. We're talking 24 ebooks, 80 apps, multiple software products, workshops, videos, podcasts. He even had a music album.
Wow, that's a lot.
A crazy amount. He was working 5,000 hours a year, pulling in $250,000, which sounds good until you calculate his EHR.
Let me guess.
Not great.
$50 an hour.
Yeah.
As Schramko put it, he had no life, just constant work.
So Schramko steps in.
Yep. Tells him straight up, Jared, you need help. And they systematically applied the 64.4 thinking. First, they challenged his core assumptions. Quit teaching. Uncap workshop attendance. Hire other trainers. Big mental shifts.
Okay.
Second, hit delete. Anything with a negative EHR, gone. Third, amplify what worked. Those workshops. Scale them up. Do a world tour. Launch a conference.
Focus on the winners.
Exactly. Fourth, use proven frameworks, like a simple sales template that landed a $10K sponsorship in minutes. Fifth, stop one-off products, move everything to a membership model for recurring revenue. Sixth, and this is hard, let go of things he was good at but weren't the highest use of his time.
Delegate even the stuff you like, if it's not the 4%.
Right. And finally, set a high EHR benchmark, $300 an hour, as a filter for all future decisions. If it doesn't meet the benchmark, don't do it.
And the result for Jared, absolutely life-changing. His income doubled to over $500,000 a year. His work hours dropped to just 25 per week.
Wow.
His EHR shot up to $380 an hour. He got his life back, had time for leisure, was actually present when his new baby arrived. It's like the perfect illustration of this whole philosophy in action.
That's incredible. Okay, so we've covered leveraging yourself through personal effectiveness and strategic focus, powered by EHR and 64.4. Now let's talk scale, because you can't truly work less and make significantly more as just one person, right? You need a team.
You really do. But Schramko gets it. A lot of entrepreneurs resist managing people. It might even be why they started their own business, to escape bosses and office politics.
Yeah, the idea of managing staff can feel like trading one set of problems for another.
But a well-built team doesn't just add work. It magnifies your efforts. It frees you up to do only the highest level stuff, the work you actually want to do. He uses these 4 exercises: delete, delegate, do, detail.
Okay, break those down.
Delete is obvious. Just stop doing stuff that adds no value. Delegate is key. Anything someone else can do, especially lower EHR tasks, get it off your plate, even if you like doing it. Do is what's left only the absolute highest impact activities only you can do. And detail means creating crystal clear standard operating procedures, SOPs, for everything you delegate.
So the delegated tasks get done right. The SOPs are like the business's DNA.
Exactly. Makes delegation smooth and scalable.
So how do you find and keep good people to delegate to? He gives tips on that too, right?
Loads of good stuff. Use filters and checklists to hire efficiently. When you delegate, hand it off completely. Don't hover. Document everything in those SOPs. Communicate expectations clearly. Reward the behavior you want to see.
Daily communicating.
Yeah. Regular tune-ups, quick daily or weekly check-ins. Establish clear company values. Encourage people to get involved, take ownership, and crucially, hire for an entrepreneurial mindset people who think proactively, not just wait to be told what to do.
Okay, that sounds great in theory. But building a team is where a lot of people stumble. What are the big mistakes Schramko sees?
He highlights 4 huge ones. First, being slow to hire. If the business is healthy, cash flow is good, offers are converting, you should be hiring. It's about buying back your time by leveraging someone else's.
Don't wait until you're drowning.
Exactly. And he suggests looking at geographic arbitrage, like hiring skilled people in places like the Philippines where costs are lower but talent is high.
Okay, mistake 1. Too slow. What's 2?
Mistake 2. No systems. Without systems, you're just winging it. You don't have a real scalable business.
Right. It all depends on you.
He outlines core systems, an asset register for documenting everything. The NOAA principle always have 2 people trained for every key task. Small batches, test things small first. Cross-check, no one checks their own work. SOPs for everything. Rules for tools, standardizing software. Simple project management like Kanban boards. And pods of 3 small agile teams like Jeff Bezos's 2-pizza rule.
Wow, that's comprehensive. So hire faster, build systems. Mistake 3.
No training, just throwing people in the deep end. He tells this funny but awful story about his first day at BMW. Basically, here's a car, no keys, no gas, figure it out.
Right.
Contrast that with Mercedes, where he implemented a proper starter pack, competency-based training, treated new hires like valued customers. The point is, invest in training, send them to courses, teach them the 64.4 principles so they can prioritize too, and give direct feedback. Don't sugarcoat it if work isn't up to par.
Okay, hire slow, no systems, no training.
Yeah.
What's the 4th big mistake?
Poor leadership. He had this truly terrible boss once, like Darth Vader level bad, who actually damaged a customer's car and was just awful to staff.
Jeez.
But seeing bad leadership shows you what not to do. Good leadership means stepping back sometimes to see what works and who steps up, giving your best energy to your best people, knowing when to zoom in and when to zoom out. And self-awareness, if you catch yourself being a bad boss, get back in the trenches for a bit, like he did washing cars. Lead by example.
Got it. Okay, team in place, systems running. What's next for scaling?
Yeah.
A killer offer, right?
Absolutely. An offer that converts. Schramko is really honest here. It took him 9 long months to make his first dollar online. Why? He didn't have an offer people actually wanted to buy.
So what is an offer that converts?
It's simple. You give people a chance to buy something and they buy it. And critically, you don't need perfection to start. His first $100 K online came from a pretty basic affiliate site. A Google Sheet for signups and a PayPal button can be enough to test an idea.
So don't get bogged down in making it look perfect first.
Definitely not. That's one of the traps he warns against. Others include chasing every shiny idea, building the whole thing before you know people will get paid first, being afraid of hearing no, and that paralysis of perfectionism. Good enough is good enough to start online. You can iterate.
How do you test ideas quickly then?
Operate at low resolution, the smallest, simplest version of the idea, and low tech. Talk to people. Use simple tools. Don't overcomplicate it. His first big win came from just asking, can I find people struggling with websites and sell them software that makes it easy? Simple problem, simple solution.
So how do you filter which ideas are worth pursuing?
He gives a great checklist of questions. What's the EHR potential? Can it scale? Recurring income. Sellable asset, growing market, demand exist. Can I reach the customers? Am I passionate about it? And the big one, will the customer actually be better off?
That's a solid filter. What about pricing the offer once you have one?
Several ways to think about it. Compare yourself to others. Premium, budget, similar. Calculate your costs and add a healthy margin. Price based on the value to the client, like his example of $10K coaching that saves someone $105K, is a no-brainer. Or honestly, sometimes you just have to make it up, test it, and adjust based on how the market responds.
Okay, got the offer, got the price. How do you communicate it effectively?
5 key things. A strong headline that grabs attention. Clearly state the problem you solve, explain the negative implications if they don't solve it, make a relevant results-based promise past the so what test, and have a super clear call to action, tell them exactly what to do next.
Make it easy for them to say yes.
And you can enhance it further. Add urgency with the deadline. Tell an emotional story they connect with. Use logic, like ROI calculations. Show proof testimonials are huge. Build trust. Create desire by showing the product being used and enjoyed. He also mentions tools like spin selling and Scamper for digging deeper into needs and generating creative offer ideas.
Okay, solid offer converting. But you need money to keep the lights on. Let's talk cash flow and the profit formula.
Right. And Schramko learned this the hard way. He tells a story about quitting his job, making sales, but running out of cash 5 months later because of delays in affiliate payments and customers not paying. Sales don't equal cash in the bank today.
That's a harsh lesson.
Brutal. So cash flow, money in, money out, is king. He lays out 5 eternal truths. Money now is better than later. Get paid up front if possible. Money in your account is better than money owed to you. Manage credit carefully. Money sitting in the bank doesn't mean it's all yours to spend. Know your profit. Hourly pricing usually means you have a job, not a scalable business. Aim for value pricing. And recurring income, it's wonderful for smoothing out cash flow.
Makes sense. And then he introduces his profit formula.
Yeah, it's elegant. Prospects X conversion rate equals customers. Then customers X, average price X, purchase frequency X, profit margin equal total profit.
Okay, looks like standard business math. What's the twist?
The twist is where most people focus. They usually obsess over getting more prospects or just raising prices or cutting costs.
Yeah, seems logical.
But Schramko shows that the biggest leverage comes from increasing the small number, your conversion rate, and your purchase frequency.
Getting existing customers to buy more often and converting more prospects into customers.
Exactly. He gives an example where just doubling purchase frequency and bumping conversions from 2% to 5% leads to a massive 500% increase in profit. It's disproportionately powerful. He suggests playing a game. Take a business like a plumber and brainstorm ways to tweak each part of that formula. It makes it really tangible.
That's smart. Okay, profit formula dialed in. Let's talk about keeping customers long-term. Customer lifetime value, or CLV.
Right. He contrasts the typical short-sighted salesperson focused only on the next commission.
Like the car salesman stereotype.
Yeah, with his own approach in car sales, where he focused intensely on customer needs, building relationships. Result, half his sales came from repeat business or referrals. He built customers for life.
So CLV is about that long-term relationship. He critiques the standard online marketing ascension model.
Right, he does. That typical funnel, free report, cheap product, medium product, expensive thing. He argues it's flawed because it assumes everyone starts at the bottom and needs the same journey. Plus, it forces you to create a ton of products.
What's his alternative?
The chocolate wheel approach. Imagine a prize wheel at a fair. The customer is at the center, and all your offers, free content, community, high-end coaching services, are immediately visible and accessible.
Like a car dealership. You can buy a new car, get service, buy parts, finance, all in one place.
Precisely. His own coaching site has a chooser tool. People can enter his ecosystem wherever it makes sense for them, based on their current need. No forced ladder climbing.
And knowing your average CLV is powerful for business decisions.
Hugely powerful. If you know, like the bookkeeper example, that the average client is worth $5,400 over their lifetime, you can confidently spend money to acquire them or invest in keeping them happy. Retention becomes a strategic focus, not an afterthought.
Okay, CLV is key. What about the overall structure? choosing the right business model. He definitely has opinions here.
Oh yeah, he flags some models as just plain bad.
Oh,
Selling time for money is the big one. It inherently caps your income and often burns you out. And selling lifetime access deals,
those sound good up front,
but they create this vague, ongoing obligation, limit future revenue from those customers, and often lead to resentment down the line.
so what model does he champion?
The recurring subscription model, hands down.
Why is that so much better?
The benefits are massive. It provides ongoing value to customers. They have to actively decide to stop paying, which reduces churn. It builds predictable revenue month after month, reducing stress. It helps manage growth smoothly, gives you leverage, works in almost any industry, and dramatically increases that customer lifetime value we just talked about.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Done-for-you services, like an SEO agency on retainer, software as a service, think Netflix or your accounting software, and paid communities, like online forums or coaching groups where people pay monthly or annually for access and support.
So how do you build one? He has steps for that.
Yep, 6 key steps. 1, research what your audience already pays for repeatedly. 2, identify the results they really want. 3, create your offer based on delivering those results. 4, validate it, get people to pay before you build the whole thing out.
Get paid first.
Always. 5. Then build it. Get help with the tech if needed. 6. Drive traffic using smart strategies, maybe offering training, a diagnostic tool, building authority with content, using paid ads, speaking at events.
And once you have subscribers,
Yeah,
retention is everything.
absolutely critical. He points out his own community has members staying for 30-plus months on average, while the industry standard is often just 3 months. That difference is huge for profitability.
Wow. How does he achieve that?
Consistent value. Weekly news updates, so there's always something fresh. Always hinting at what's coming next. Rewarding loyalty with things like founders rates. Using smart trial offers, like free for 60 days, but billing starts on day 61 unless they cancel. Offering flexible payment options, especially annual deals. But the core thing, it's not about showering them with stuff. It's about consistently delivering results.
Results, not stuff. Got it.
Okay.
Final segment. This sounds serious. No compromise.
Yeah, this is where he really ties it all together, focusing on sustainability and protecting your life, really.
He starts with the launch model, which is so common online. Big product launch, huge revenue spike.
I know, it sounds amazing, right?
Sounds seductive, yeah. But he calls it a major flaw and a trap. And he tells this really powerful, quite sad story about Wilco de Cray.
What happened?
Wilco was in the middle of a massive, stressful launch, making tons of money. Then he gets a call his wife had a terrible bike accident. And in that moment, boom, realization hits, this crazy launch cycle. It wasn't a real sustainable business. It was a massive compromise demanding everything from him, leaving no room for life's emergencies.
Wow, that puts it in perspective. What are the hidden costs, the compromises of that launch model?
There are so many. Months of intense prep work beforehand, huge pressure during the launch itself, crazy cash flow swings, feast or famine, overwhelmed customer support, giving away huge chunks of revenue to affiliates, burning out your audience with constant promotion, and often promoting partners' products that don't even fully align with your own values just to make the launch bigger. It's a short-term sugar high with a long-term cost. And it's not just launches, right? He talks about other dangerous compromises.
Yeah, like single source dependency. He mentioned Sylvia Vandelocht, who got 75% of her traffic from Google. One algorithm change, and boom, business devastated.
Ouch. Or building your entire business on someone else's platform.
Exactly. Ryan Levesque had a $2 million business built almost entirely inside a Facebook group. Facebook could change the rules or shut it down overnight. No control.
It's terrifying. And the most common compromise, sacrificing your health.
For sure. Kevin Rogers burning himself out doing intensive one-to-one copywriting. It's unsustainable.
So the big message here is,
Compromise is optional. We often accept these things, the crazy hours, the yes to everything, the expensive office, skipping holidays as just the price of doing business. Schramko argues passionately that they are choices, often unnecessary ones.
so how do we stop making those bad choices? How do we reduce compromise?
He gives 3 main ways. First, question everything. Just like Jared questioned needing to teach or capping his workshops. Challenge the assumptions that lead to compromise.
Okay, second.
Second, do the hard thing. Making tough calls like letting go of underperformers or investing time now to diversify traffic sources or choosing the healthier routine even when it feels difficult initially.
Right, the easy path often leads to compromise later. And third,
Third, mitigate risk. Simple stuff, but crucial. Backing up your work. getting insurance, and critically, moving your followers from social media platforms you don't control onto your own email list where you own the relationship.
Build your own assets. And we saw this work for the people you mentioned.
Absolutely. Sylvia diversified her traffic, built her own membership site, no longer reliant on Google. Ryan Levesque bravely shut down the Facebook-dependent business and built his own software and platform. Kevin Rogers shifted from burnout one-to-one work to building the Copy Chief community, recurring income, less stress, better life. They all actively chose not to compromise anymore.
That's powerful. Okay, so there's one compromise that you listening right now can probably tackle immediately. And Schramko is really passionate about this one.
Yeah, it's sleep.
He just hammers the sleep is for the weak idea, doesn't he?
He really does. He lists the whole destructive domino effect of not getting enough sleep. You make worse decisions, your health suffers, you're more emotional, you even get hungrier. It impacts everything.
So what's the challenge?
The challenge is simple but profound. Aim for just 1 more hour of sleep each night. Starting tonight.
Just 1 hour.
Just 1 more hour. He argues the immediate boost in energy and mental clarity is huge. It's often the first, most accessible step to breaking the cycle of compromise because it gives you the capacity to then tackle the bigger things.
Okay, so wrapping this all up.
Yeah.
It really feels like the core theme running through everything is leverage.
It absolutely is. This whole deep dive has really been about teaching you how to leverage 3 critical things. First, leverage yourself. Through personal effectiveness, tracking that EHR, applying the 64.4 principle, getting the most out of your own time and energy. Second, leverage your team. Delegating effectively, building systems, creating a structure that supports you so you can actually disconnect. You know, be at the beach with your surfboard, not your laptop, as he says.
Love that image.
Yeah.
And third,
leverage your business itself. Through having that offer that converts, understanding the profit formula, maximizing customer lifetime value, using the recurring subscription model, and systematically removing those dangerous compromises.
and Schramko's final point is quite encouraging, isn't it? He says, you, the listener, actually have an advantage.
Yeah, a huge advantage. You don't need to figure all this out through painful trial and error over decades or cram 30 years of business into 10, as he puts it. You have this knowledge, these frameworks right now.
Which leads to a really provocative final question he poses.
It really makes you think, he asks. What would you rather be doing? For him, the answer became surfing. That became his non-negotiable, his new baseline. If a business decision interfered with his daily surf, he just wouldn't do it.
Wow, so here's the dare for you listening. Figure out that thing you truly love to do. Maybe it's spending time with your kids, maybe it's painting, maybe it's hiking. Set that as something you make time for every single day. And then build your business around that. Design it to support your life, not consume it. Don't wait for retirement to live. Start now.
Because when you anchor yourself to something you love doing daily, it gives you this incredible energy. It becomes the driving force to actually implement all these ideas we've talked about to really leverage yourself, your team, your business. And maybe best of all, it ensures that the journey, the day-to-day process of building that business becomes just as rewarding, if not more so, than reaching any particular destination.